The most important menu here in Cognos Report is this report menu. Here we have different items and folders. We can select some item, for example this one, and here we can find different options that will affect the entire report. But if we go to some folder, then we will usually get this presentation where we have some items. For example, here we can see our page 1 and page 2, and we can use these items for navigation. For example, if I click on page 1, I will jump to this page 1. We can also use this structure here to navigate between elements. For example, if I want to go to page 2, I can use this menu here and then I can jump to page 2. Or I can click here to go to pages folder, and then I can click here to go back to our page 1. We can also navigate by using these arrows here. They will help us to visit all of the pages where we have been previously. So we can linearly visit all previous locations, or we can go back to where we are now. Now let's see what else do we have here in report menu. First, I want to say something more about pages. We go here to pages folder. We should tell why pages are important. Well, if we export this report to Excel format, we would get something like this. So we would have two sheets. We will have a sheet that has the same name as page 1 and second sheet that has the same name as page 2. So for each page we have different sheet. But if we add another page, for that we go here to toolbox. We have page icon. We will drag it to this area. When we release it, we will get another third page. We can rename this page by using this property. Here we can type, for example, new sheet. We now have third page with this name, and we have some properties. For example, background color. We can change this background color to, for example, light blue. When we click on OK, we can now double click on our page, and we will see that our page is empty, but it is light blue. And now we can export our report to Excel format, and we would get something like this. Again, we would have a page 1 and page 2, but there will be a third page named new sheet, and in this page we only have one cell that is of a light blue color because this page is actually empty, so only one cell is colored. We will go now back. We will again go to pages folder. We will select this third page, and I will click on delete on my keyboard. We will go again back to report menu, and I will show you now queries. When we click here on queries folder, we will see that we have two queries. Now, in order to explain you queries, I will go back to page 1, and I will select this entire list. And we will see now that this list is connected to query 1. So each item inside of Cognos report is connected to some query. It is possible that several items are connected to the same query, and all of those queries are actually placed in this folder queries. These queries are created by using these items from the toolbox. So we can use this to create a new query by using SQL, by using union or intersect, and so on. If we double click on this query 1, we will get to a page where we can see how our query could be modified or changed. For example, if we want to add another column, we can see here that this query has only 3 columns. We can add another column by going here to sources, and we can add date column. We can also go here to toolbox. We can use filter. We can add filter to this area. When I release it, I will get this dialog, and from here I can, for example, choose to filter my query to show only year 2023. So when I click on OK, I will see my filter here. So this is how we can create and change our query. I will now select this column date. I will delete it by using delete at my keyboard. I will also delete this filter here. Then we will go back to our report menu, and now I will show you prompt pages folder. When I click here, we will now create a new page, but this is a special kind of page. This is prompt page. I will drag this icon into this area, and I will double click on this page, and this is what I would get. So this is a special kind of page that has these buttons here, and this kind of page is used for prompts. Now we haven't talked about prompts till now, so I will just show you one example. I will jump to other report. This is that report. In this report we have normal page. So this is that page, and in this page we have just one list with 3 columns. But beside this normal page we also have prompt page, and inside of this prompt page first we have only 2 buttons, not 4, because I only need 2 buttons in this case, and we have this prompt. Now prompt is created by using these options from toolbox. There are different kinds of prompts, and we will now show how this prompt work. I will click here and I will run this report in HTML format. So when I do that, first we will be faced with a prompt. And prompt means that we will get some questions. So we have to answer on something. I will now select this year 2018. That is my answer. And when I click on finish, I will get only data for 2018 year. So when I run this report again, then I can select some other years. For example, I will select this year 2015. So when I click on finish, I will only get data for 2015. And this is how prompt is working. We will now go back, and I will explain you that we have these 2 other buttons in case that we have several prompt pages. If we have too many prompts, we have to place them on different prompt pages, and then we would use these buttons to navigate from and to those prompt pages. I will now go back to prompt pages folder, and I will select this prompt page and I will delete it. Let's go now back to report menu, and now we will click on this folder classes. I will just show you this page. We will not talk a lot about classes, but I will show you their meaning. For that we will go to this other report, and as we know this report has 2 kinds of pages. For that we will go to report menu, and we can see that we have normal page and we also have this prompt page. If we select this normal page like this, we can see that this normal page is of class page, that is named page. But if we go now to prompt pages, if we select prompt page, this page is of class prompt page. So not page, but prompt page. So different items inside of Cognos report are belonging to different classes. So that would be everything about classes. Now we will go again to report menu, and I will show you 2 pages for variables. We can see that page here, and for parameters we can see that page here. Now what are parameters and variables used for? They are used for communication between different parts of Cognos reports. For example, if we go again to that other report, we know that here inside of prompt page we have this prompt, and this prompt has to find a way to communicate with that list. So prompt should have a way to say to this list to show only some specific data, and that communication is conveyed through this parameter here. So parameters and variables are just places in memory that are used for communication between different parts of Cognos reports. And we will not talk about them anymore. The last thing in our report menu is this option report. If I click here, we will see some options that will affect the entire report, and I will show you just one of those options. Here we have option view pages as tabs, and this is what we can choose here. So no is default, and when no is selected, and if I run this report in HTML format, I will see at the top our page 1, but page 2, where is page 2? Well, page 2 is below. So if I click here on page down, here below we will find our page 2, and we can go to top to see again our page 1. So everything is placed from top to bottom. But if we go back to our report and we change this property to top left, if we run now again our report, we will see tabs at the top of our report. So we can easily jump between two pages. So we can go from page 1 to page 2 and back. Also in this area, report area, we have this information, so we can see how many pages do we have, how many text items, how many tables and so on. So there is some statistics about report in this area.